dressed Favorite Grunge for the first time in a video, so I feel very handsome right now. Anyway, welcome to Nostalgia Tour. Today I'm going to be talking about Club Penguin. So Club Penguin was one of the biggest multiplayer virtual world online games. Club Penguin was a titan, up there with Movie Star Planet and Wizards 101. I actually did get a Club Penguin account. I forgot how old I was. I think I was in middle school, high school-ish. I remember I got my own laptop for the first time, and the first thing I did was I played Dress Up Who. I tried to get into my old Webkinz account, but I didn't remember the password. And then finally I thought, hey, since I have my own computer, I can play Club Penguin. I can play Movie Star Planet or whatever. Yeah, so I did make a Club Penguin account, but I got bored of it within a day. And I'll get to why when we get to that part of the story. But yeah, I got an account, played it once, and that was it. But we'll get into my little personal story a little bit later. First, I want to go over how Club Penguin got started. I want to go over how Club Penguin got started, the Disneyfication of it, where it ended up, and then the oddly bizarre way it kind of fell out of existence. So before Club Penguin, he had Penguin Chat in 2003, with familiar features like snowball throwing, little emojis, and chat balloons. Penguin Chat was the groundwork for the soon-to-be Club Penguin. Just a year later, Penguin Chat had over 1 million total players. Rocket Snail, the company behind Club Penguin, saw that they might have had a hit on their hands and decided to continue development for Penguin Chat, which was later renamed Club Penguin. The only problem was Lance, the main man of Club Penguin, the one who originally made Penguin Chat, was only working part-time, so the game was wasn't set to come out at all until 2010. Thankfully, Lance and his co-workers Dave and Lane loved the idea. They fast-tracked development, making a new company called New Horizons that solely worked on Club Penguin's development. And thanks to that decision, Club Penguin's beta was out within 2 months, actually, instead of 5 years, which is very impressive. The three main men shared the same vision: a safe online platform for kids that could enjoy that's free of advertising, which did not age well. The team expanded on production with amazing progress, very impressive progress. And it was actually really cool looking at what Club Penguin used to look like, even though it doesn't hold any nostalgia for me because I didn't get my account later until Club Penguin was Disneyified. But yeah, I really like the little doodle designs that Club Penguin used to look like. It kind of reminds me of Ed, Edd n Eddy and how like the outlines of the characters weren't perfect and they would actually move. Except in Club Penguin they didn't move, but it wasn't perfect, and I liked that. And I wish I knew about Club Penguin way back when it looked like this. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more. The game's early build was released to the public in August of 2005. Club Penguin opened its doors to thousands, 10,000, 15,000 beta testers. I'm not good with numbers. For 2 months. Then on October 24th, 2005, Club Penguin was launched to the public officially. I didn't know this, but Club Penguin launched incomplete, actually. But the features would be added in pretty quickly. Like Penguin Chat, Club Penguin was skyrocketing in popularity, skyrocketing a little too fast, and by 2007 there were 12 million penguins pushing the servers to the breaking point. The game had to be completely rebuilt multiple times because of how many players were logging in every day. Yeah. Rebuilt multiple times to keep up with the growing player count. And things could not continue this way. New Horizons, the company, was sitting on a viral game gold mine. With over 100 employees at New Horizons, the overwhelming serving cost and maintenance to keep up with servers took up a lot of time they could have spent monetizing their game. So in 2007, monetization they did, and although Club Penguin turned down advertising offers in the past, in August of 2007, New Horizons agreed to sell Club Penguin to Disney for $350 million. And this is where the Disneyfication of it all begins. So the Disneyfication of Club Penguin begins at the end of 2007, just a few months after Disney bought Club Penguin. The player count had already doubled from 12 million to 30 million. With Disney, the now new owners of Club Penguin, Club Penguin was over 50 million players by 2009. Okay, Club Penguin went to new heights that it never would have been possible without the mega corporation joining in. New Horizons had a vision for a safe haven for kids free of advertising, and well, we all know Disney. We all know what Disney's like, and with Disney as the new leaders, you can assume that that rule would be broken pretty quickly. With millions of players logging in every day, attention turned to merchandising. Disney would advertise their properties within Club Penguin, and I remember seeing multiple Club Penguin commercials on the Disney Channel. And I don't think I had Disney XD, but I assume they were on there too, because why not? Disney would advertise their properties within the Club Penguin, so you would log into Club Penguin and there were the new Disney movies. There were crossover events with the movies that were coming out in Club Penguin. They had crossover themed parties for movies like Toy Story 3, The Muppets, Tangled, Star Wars, any new movie that was coming out. Soon merchandising and was ramped up to 1,000. They were selling anything and everything. Dolls, plushies, shirts, games, trading cards, and even had animations. And even songs. I distinctly remember there was a Club Penguin song called Party Starts Now that used to play all the time on the Disney Channel, and I assume Disney XD also. And it was at this point, after seeing all the commercials, was when I finally learned about Club Penguin's existence. The only problem was I didn't have my own computer at the time, so I had to wait until I was older and got one, and then remembered Club Penguin exists and that I had a computer and that I can make my own account now. had no access to the internet unless you counted the computers and technology class in elementary school. We're the only, yeah. Unfortunately, I had no access to the internet unless you count the computers and technology class in elementary school, where the only approved game websites were Cool Math Games, Friv, and later on Poptropica. So for little me, I would have to wait. Why is my thing going up instead of down? Little me would have to wait a little longer until I was able to play Club Penguin. But anyway, with hundreds and dozens of millions of players, millions of dollars coming in every year, the site got so big that multiple Club Penguin offices were set up around the world. Yeah. With New Horizons being renamed to Disneyland Studios Canada, and despite all the success, many players began to miss the old Club Penguin. All the little designs, all the models, all the artwork were updated from like these really cool imperfect doodles to this modern style. It was, yeah, all the little imperfection doodles and sketch of it all were all gone with the Disney takeover, and a lot of players missed that imperfection hand-drawn style that it had. I actually liked it a lot, and felt annoyed by the constant Disney advertising. Yeah, and this does happen quite often. The success and money had made the game better, but the hand-drawn small community charm was gone. But regardless, the game was still becoming a viral sensation, topping most popular website boards, ranking in the millions. It seemed like things could only go up for Club Penguin, but sadly, things wouldn't be going uphill for much longer. Like many online games or virtual worlds, Club Penguin relied heavily on memberships, but surprisingly, it didn't have any premium currency like most virtual worlds do. Animal Jam, it was diamonds. Moshi Monsters, they had rocks for currency. I don't know if they had a premium currency. I know Webkins didn't have anything. I don't remember. I wasn't super into different virtual worlds. But anyway, it didn't have any premium currency, but this is Disney, which means paywalls plenty. Pretty much, oh, my thing went off. Okay, pretty much all customization was off the table for non-members. No clothes, no decorations available. Animal Jam wasn't even that cruel. Non-members could also only adopt one red or one blue puffle. A puffle is the pets that the little penguin has, and they come in all kinds of colors. But if you were a non-member, you had to pick between red or blue. I think I picked a red one. And of course, you couldn't have any accessories, and your puffle couldn't have any accessories. While members could have 75 puffles, you could only have one. The game was free, but a lot of the features were blocked off. Yeah, and then I just told the story of how I got my own laptop. Yeah. I forgot how old I was, but I finally got my own laptop, no longer having to ask mom for hers. I could finally dress up whoever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I could play Cool Math games I wanted. I didn't have to wait until technology class. I could play Poptropica all night if I wanted to. Yes. So I finally got my own laptop. I think I was in middle school or high school, and I remember a Club Penguin commercial showed up on my TV. And I thought, and that's when it hit me, hey, since I have my own laptop, I can finally play Club Penguin like all the other kids my age. exactly what I did. I grabbed my laptop, I set it all up, name, password, whatever I've set. And I remember not being able to buy any clothes, no hair, no wigs, nothing. I was a bald, naked penguin. I was a bald, naked penguin waddling around with a red puffle that could only be happy. It didn't have any other, I couldn't, yeah, all the facial expressions for my puffle were blocked, all the accessories for my puffle were blocked. It could only smile. And I remember because of that, I got bored very quickly because I was a very obvious non-paying member. Nobody would even talk to me because of that. So I eventually just got bored and maybe within like an hour or two logged off and do what I normally do, which is forget my name and forget my password. Yeah. It started me over. I hate it when it does that. Okay, I was right here. Yeah, and then I remember because I happened to Club Penguin, another online virtual world that I wanted to be on but couldn't was Movie Star Planet, and literally the same exact thing. And I will do Movie Star Planet, a nostalgia tour on them later. But I plan on it. I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but I plan on it. Yeah, so I gave up on both of them and then went back to good old Animal Jam. Since I forgot my Webkinz username years ago. Yeah, CP began coming out with physical Puffle plushies and keychains from the store, and some of these plushies would include a code to redeem a Puffle in the game. Okay, and since we're talking about the pet shop and Puffles and stuff, you could also adopt Pookies. So Pookies are people role-playing as baby penguins. It reminds me very much of the Pillow Room from Animal Jam, where people would go in there and then pretend to be baby or I guess not babies, but like kittens and pups and whatever the animal they were a baby version of it. And they would beg people to adopt them. Yeah, and then Does and yeah, it says Does and Mums were dads and moms. Since the demonetization wouldn't let you say mommy or daddy. For good reasons, probably. And yeah, much like the Pillow Room and Animal Jam, the pet shop would be used as an adoption center for these Pookies. And they would always talk in very annoying ooh baby language to try and appear cute and childlike. My laptop changed Pookie to Hoochies, so it says sometimes Hoochies will report penguins who didn't adopt them. But yeah, they would talk in these ooh-woo baby language and then try to get adopted, and then some of them got very mad if you didn't adopt them and would actually sit there and report you because you said no to them. So yeah, so you could say no to them. Yeah, a lot of penguins would say there's no more room in the fam, and the Pookies would get mad and report if they weren't adopted. Some Pookies would even reveal to have a secret when they were adopted, like being half mermaid or half vampire or a runaway princess or something. It's always something. So yeah, running away from the pet shop, there was also the plaza and there was a theater. Now, the theater wasn't a super popular hangout spot, but it was extremely fun to go in there and watch penguins try to perform shows with no one's in the crowd but you. And yeah, trying to perform a show and there's like no one in the crowd except for you. The most popular shop was the pizza parlor. Yeah, I do remember the pizza parlor. That was my favorite place. I remember they had the little pizza mini game where the pizzas would come out and you have to put toppings and stuff on them and they just keep getting faster and faster until you can't keep up anymore. The pizza parlor was all about romance. Penguins would come here on dates all the time. The smooth jazz on the piano, candlelit dinner, dozens of waiters constantly harassing you until you ordered something. The armed robbers trying to, the armed robber players coming in trying to take you hostage. How romantic. Yeah, pizza parlor was where the magic happened. Yeah, people would go on dates, rob the place, and argue over who the boss was. And if that wasn't your style, you could always go to the dojo and play card jitsu. So card jitsu was a card game that was only playable at the dojo, and it allowed you to rise in the ranks by earning belts, much like actual karate. It was the most popular game in Club Penguin, partly because of the competitive nature and beating the other players, and partly because it gave you a belt accessory, one of the only accessories that was free. So you weren't a bald, naked penguin anymore. Now you're a bald penguin with a belt. Card Jitsu actually got so popular it spawned a real-life card game. I remember seeing the trading cards in real life. I just didn't collect them because I didn't see the point. I didn't know how to play. The rest of the game was okay, I guess. I mean, you got surfer girl role plays at the beach. I really like the minecart game. Yeah, I really like the minecart game, and then the jetpack game was a close second. Yeah, there's one location I haven't talked about yet, and I'm pretty sure everybody's waiting for me to talk about it, but the iceberg. Now, much like Animal Jam's Ice Pond and the, whatever the bridge was called in Animal Jam, there was a rumor saying that you could tip the iceberg in Club Penguin. And legend had it that if enough penguins stood, danced, or jackhammered on the ground, the iceberg would tip over. So the rumor grew and grew and grew. Eventually, day in and day out, players would spend hours dancing, jackhammering while typing, tip the iceberg over and over and over and over. I'm not sure exactly where this urban legend started, but it seems the staff members in charge of Club Penguin were fully aware of the rumor, and were actually responsible for continuing it or keeping it up, and possibly starting it, I guess. Hints to the iceberg tipping over, hints to the iceberg being able to tip over frequently, you can frequently find in the game. I need to learn to talk. One of the biggest pieces of evidence came in 2014 during a Halloween party where there was a painting of a tipping iceberg was in one of the rooms. I don't remember which one. The staff were intentionally dropping hints about the iceberg to be real for years. So for years, the myths of the iceberg grew until eventually it died out along with Club Penguin's popularity. Despite how popular the game was, by 2005, the cracks began to show with the reveal that the UK office was shutting down, and 28 staff members have been laid off. The decay of the site became clearer as German and Russian servers began to shut down, and many more staffs across the globe were getting laid off, and it's clear from the shutdowns and laid off that the Club Penguin itself was very slowly starting to get more unpopular. Another contributing factor to the shutdown of Club Penguin was mobile apps. Like most virtual worlds, mobile apps and the whole mobile game industry, with them, not only were all these virtual worlds competing with each other, but now they had to compete with mobile apps and games. With Angry Birds reigning supreme in 2009, setting the stage for games like Candy Crush, Flappy Bird, Subway Surfers, which I still play to this day, Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope, Temple Run, and that piano key game that I don't remember the title of. The gaming industry saw a huge shift towards mobile games and apps rather than virtual worlds, and the decline of players on online multiplayer virtual worlds started to decline. So on January 30th of 2017, Club Penguin announced that the game would be shutting down March of 2019 to make way for a brand new mobile game, Club Penguin Island. But the Club Penguin community flipped out at the news that it was all shutting down. It came as a big shock. The community was outraged. Players who hadn't played in years protested the shutdown. A Club Penguin party was announced. The party would last until the final server was shut down, and it was called the Waddle On Party. The party was said to be a G-rated rager until the final shutdown, kind of as a last hoorah to celebrate. Except it wasn't as G-rated as you might think. Which I think this is a perfect time to bring up banning. So the banning system that was on Club Penguin to obviously protect children from obviously R-rated stuff. That's why it was there, obviously. Punishments ranged from simple warnings of, hey, don't do that, to 24-hour bans to permanent account suspensions, but sometimes the bans would glitch out for no reason. For example, a Puffle party glitched out, causing anyone who danced to be banned during the 2012 Music Jam. Anyone who entered the stadium was banned for 24 hours. And then when Disney launched their Monsters University takeover, players were banned for using the emoticons. Yeah, they were banned if you used the emoticons for, quote, attempted game manipulation. Getting banned was so popular that people would actually speed run how quickly they could get banned. the announcement of Club Penguin shutdowns, players threw caution to the wind and began spamming cuss words and other vulgarities to get their accounts permanently banned. But yeah, that was only some people. And then on the other side, you had players who were revisiting the game, who hasn't been playing for years, just to reminisce about how good the old days were, and went to town, went to the plaza for the last time and just enjoyed. But a lot of players went to the iceberg in hopes of finally tipping it over and revealing the secret of what was underneath it. The iceberg tipping myth was over a decade old, so you can't really blame them for trying at least one last time. Little did they know the staff members actually prepared a little surprise for players attending the Waddle On party. As a last hurrah, the iceberg tipped over during the Waddle On party. Players were able to tip the iceberg Players were able to tip the iceberg if at least 5 players in the room had to be wearing blue, walking a blue puffle, dancing, and wearing a hard hat for the iceberg to finally tip over. And once it finally tipped over, it revealed a dance floor with a description that read, and I quote, "Together we can build an island, create a community, change the world, and even tip an iceberg. Waddle on." As the end of the day neared, absolute madness and anarchy rose in this Arctic Club Penguin land. As the servers started to be shut down, there were no more rules, no consequences, no future for these penguins. Club Penguin gave everyone free memberships on the very, very last day. The final server was shut down March 30th of 2017. And just like that, Club Penguin was gone. Now just a memory. And I know, much like Moshi Monsters, you know how they have Moshi Monsters rewritten, made by fans? I tried looking for some kind of Club Penguin fan-made thing. I couldn't find it, so it's like gone. But yeah, a bit of a sad ending for this video. But anyway, thank you guys for taking this nostalgic